I couldn't leave 2022 without giving y'all a surprise. I got a haircut. You know what they say, new year, new me, and new me means new haircut. You guys like it? Alright. Hey, what's up everyone? It's me, SpeedSuperSonic, bringing you guys another video. This video, it's our final video of 2022! This year went by so quickly, like insanely quick. This video is the final video of 2022. What? Feels like just yesterday that this year started. We didn't even have a Sonic movie 2. We didn't even know, like, Sonic Frontiers gameplay. We didn't know what it looked like. Ah, man, time flies and just a lot of stuff is going on. Usually on the final day of the year, we release these big roundup videos where we talk about, like, every significant Sonic thing that happened this year. And this year, I wanted to kind of change it up a bit. I kind of just wanted to pour my heart out about 2022 because I always like to be the dramatic one, which is why I want to say that I believe, personally, that 2022 has been the best year in Sonic the Hedgehog history, point blank period, ever. This has been such a monumental, pivotal year for the franchise, and I cannot be more happy to be a Sonic fan, and I cannot be more happy to see the franchise where it is right now. But why do I think this? What has made me come to this conclusion? Let's talk about 2022, the year that it has been for Sonic, what it means to me, and what has made this year, in my personal opinion, the best in Sonic history. Only a few years ago, I was like one of those like spelling doom and gloom for the franchise type people who was like, man, Sonic sure sucks, it's not really meeting its potential, this is not exactly what I want. And then I started realizing, hey, I'm an adult now, I should stop taking this so seriously. But a big issue I had with Sonic going into this year was simply the output of content. 2020, it was only the Sonic movie, nothing else. Sonic's 30th anniversary, 2021, we got Sonic Colors Ultimate. That was really it. Franchises that stay relevant and are like consistent in the cultural zeitgeist stay that way because they're putting out a lot of content to stay in the public eye, to be relevant. Sonic just wasn't really doing that. We kind of had a glimpse of what it could be with the first Sonic movie back in 2020, but then Sega went like radio silent for next like basically 2 years. But this year could not have been any different. Sonic tapped into every form of media you could think of, and that was necessary for the franchise to continue to grow. I'd say the biggest thing this year was Sonic Movie 2, covering the movie side of things. But then you have the games where Sonic was established as a property. You had two this year, Sonic Frontiers, which is the big one, and then Sonic Origins, which was a thing, but completely mishandled. We'll talk about that later. And another very critical thing that I think was slightly looked over by the fan base, but will go on to be looked at as very important, that being Sonic Prime, the brand new TV show that is airing on Netflix currently and will be receiving more episodes in the coming months. Not just that, but the Sonic IDW comics continued going with not only the main series, but some spin-off comics as well, and merchandise flooded store shelves this year. I think this was the best year for merchandise in general. Well, yes, there might have been years with better games, or there might have been years with more games. We've never received this amount of content with Sonic the Hedgehog before, ever. I'd say some of the only years that are comparable to this would be 2003 with the release of Sonic X and Sonic Heroes, with a couple other side games in there, I believe. 2003 was a great building year for the Sonic franchise. I think that's why a lot of fans such as myself, my age demographic, are Sonic fans, because it was able to have that game and that show bring in a bunch of new fans by simply releasing close to each other. This just did it on a completely different level. Not only did we get a new TV show, we also got a new game, but we also have a movie in there as well. Simply this amount of Sonic content being able to be scattered throughout this year is not only the most Sonic content that we've received, it's the most important Sonic content we've received. The movie, for instance, is the most important. Film is just simply the most respected art form. It's able to grasp at a wider audience. It's my favorite art form, and I'll continue to believe that. And the fact that not only was the second movie able to build upon the momentum of the first, it just completely exceeded it. The movie made significantly more money at the box office, which means more people want to go see it. It performed better critically. It was just very super well received. And before that film even came out, we got the announcement that we're beginning a sequel to that with Sonic Movie 3 releasing in 2024, and also a Knuckles TV spin-off. That's awesome. But how did these actual projects turn out? Let's start off with the movie, because I think that's the most definitive, like, this is very good thing that we got this year. Sonic Movie 2 was amazing. I personally was very harsh on it at its initial release because I was just trying to be overly critical about a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It's a super fun watch. It's like the perfect family film. There's issues with it. There are things I would have changed myself personally, but the movie it's got, I'm gonna judge it for what it is, and I enjoyed it. I do think it is superior to the first film, even if I personally enjoy the first film more just watching it. It was a very important film in the Sonic movie franchise, and I'm excited to see where 3 is going to be able to build built upon it. Prime did so well. It performed very well on Netflix, and in terms of its performance around TV as a whole, it performed very well critically. I think it got an 8 with IGN. Fans seem to like it. I know there are like people who complain about Sonic's characterization and stuff like that, which I already talked about in my review. If you guys don't already know, I love the interpretation of Sonic in this show. It's a very, very solid show. I enjoy it so much. And I'm excited to see where it goes in the future because we still have more episodes coming out in 2023. But I think the most interesting part was the games. The games were absent from this franchise for so long. Since 2019 was the last time we received an actual new Sonic game that wasn't like a port or something. I'll go ahead and get this one out of the way first before we get into Frontiers. Sonic Origins. Sonic Origins, without a doubt, is like the weakest part of this year. And thankfully there was so much stuff this year I'm able to like kind of overlook it. Sonic Origins was a complete mess. The game didn't receive a physical release at launch, which is insanity to me. That's honestly probably my biggest issue with it. Not only did you produce something that was like kind of lazy, not that great, you didn't even make it to be like consumed by like mass audiences. If that game was sold in stores, it would have sold like hotcakes. I have no idea how Origins performed whatsoever. It's only available digitally. The launch of it was just embroiled in fan-based controversy. People like just didn't enjoy it that much. There are of course fans of the game. I still have not played it. If it was released physically, I would have bought it. But yeah, without a doubt, that's just the low light of this year. But thankfully, the other game to come out this year saved it, and that was Sonic Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers is what it was said to be by Iizuka, the biggest stepping stone for the Sonic franchise in terms of video games since Sonic Adventure. They have found their new gameplay style that they can continue to build upon. It's not perfect, but it's so freaking promising. The game performed well critically, fans are really liking it, but I think everybody is in agreement. This works. Stick with this. Let's just continue to build upon it so we can make it better. Frontiers is great. I think it is the best Sonic game that we have received in a very, very long time. Is there a whole lot of competition? Not really, but I was so incredibly happy with the game that we received. So with the 4 new things that we got this year, this is great, this is great, this is great, not this. It is just night and day to the years that we've received in the past. This makes for the best year in Sonic history because not only are we just receiving a lot of content, the content isn't just the content, it's good. If we received all this stuff and it was just god-awful, I probably wouldn't say it's the best year in Sonic history because it would have done damage to the franchise. But receiving all this content and all of it being good just propels this year into being the best in Sonic history. And to be fair, I don't think there's any competition. A new movie, a new TV show, new games, new comic books, merchandise, all of that. It's been an amazing year to be a Sonic fan. And I don't think anybody could argue that. It's kind of crazy to see like where we were at a few years ago with Sega restructuring, Sonic Boom just completely failing, and the franchise being in limbo. Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces weren't even out yet. We had no idea what was going on with the franchise whatsoever. And even once those games released, it was still a bit of like a question mark, like where are we going to go from here? There's so much more potential for this franchise to go beyond where it's been. And to see where we're at now, just completely fully realizing that potential is incredible. This is what the Sonic franchise should be. This is where we should be at. How did this happen though? How did we get here? And in fact, like it kind of was like a light switch almost. Well, I give complete thanks to the Sonic movie from 2020 for this. Like I said, with film being such a respected form of media, not only that, being the redemption story that it was, but the movie being so good and making as much money as it did and breaking records and stuff like that, it was seen as like a legitimate win for the Sonic franchise, which just wasn't getting those. It was something you could actually take seriously and respect. And not only that, but a different creative team coming in, using the Sonic property that wasn't Takashi Iizuka run or Sega run, was so nice and refreshing. I'm not here to put down the Japanese branch of Sega or Sonic, but I feel like in recent years, Western teams and creatives have just simply been making the best Sonic content. And giving a Sonic property to them to continue making stuff was simply the route to go. You needed to share Sonic a bit. And that's what they did. They signed a deal with Netflix and WildBrain and Man of Action to make a new TV show. A second movie was greenlit, with the third one on the way. And they finally started putting out games again. The Sonic movie breathed new life into this franchise. And since then, it's just been continuing to get more and more inside of it. And I am just so happy and so blessed to see where this franchise is now. I've said it before and I'll say it again before we sign off. This has been the best year in Sonic history. Point blank period. All the stuff we've got, all of the games, all the shows, all the movies, all of it has been so great. And this year has been so great with you guys. I just want to give a big thank you guys for 2022. And this year has just been the biggest year for the channel in its history, and I cannot thank you guys more for that. So many memories have been made, so much content to talk about. It has been so fun. I'm so blessed to be in the position I am right now to be able to just make Sonic the Hedgehog videos for a living, and it's not the end. 2023, we're coming in guns blazing. Tomorrow, you're already getting a new video. Now, I've also received requests for plush videos to make a return on the channel. Now, unfortunately, this channel isn't really a place for plush videos anymore. That audience is just kind of gone now since we haven't really made a plush video in like 3 years. But if you miss my friend SpeedSuperSonic Blake's Sonic Plush Rewind, we made the announcement that we'll be starting up a brand new channel for a brand new plush series called Sonic Funhouse, starting up February 14th, 2023. The channel is now live. I want you guys to go down and subscribe to the channel. Let's try to get it to hit 1,000 subscribers before February 14th, when the first episode will premiere. And with that announcement, thank you guys so much for 2022. Once again, it's been an amazing year. I had so much fun. There's so many amazing things planned for 2023. Feel free to follow my social media links, my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow those behind the scenes, my life, future content, and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. I love all you so much. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Tell me